What's up, guys? I'm your host, Lucie, and this is Eventually It All Connects. I am here with my famous friend.
Famous friend?
Famous friend.
I don't think I'm famous. Do you all know me? I don't think so. Not famous at all.
Well, if you don't know him, you're living in a box.
Or you're just not going to the ocean. I think that's what it is, really.
There's that as well. No, I met him at church. And actually met him during the spec of 2022, which I am going to link down that video below. You guys need to watch his acting, please.
Terrible.
It's actually, no, it's amazing. It's actually amazing. I'm just like, this guy, why is he not an actor and in more stuff? It's really nice. I'll link it down below and you should go check it out. He's also the main character, one of the main characters.
One of the main characters.
But anyway, so yeah, this is Katera. I didn't even say your name.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Katera here. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so I normally ask a question
Yeah.
with every one of my guests, and it is there a time in your life where you didn't know it then but are now realizing that eventually it all connected to today?
Eventually it all connects. That's what you did there. I think, yeah. You know, there was a time right after high school that I was really trying to get to this, you know, A-level school. It's called ALA. And I made it to the finalists in the country. There were 6 of us, and I was really hoping to get it, man. Like, I was praying, but I didn't, right? And that hurt a lot during that time. But yeah, you know, 7 years down the line, I'm sort of grateful that happened. I think because I went on to go to uni in Malawi, and that's where I found Jesus. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened if I went to ALA, right? So I'm like,
actually really cool. Oh
yeah. So yeah, man. 2018, went to uni, gave my life to Christ, and I am so glad that I did. And here we are.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the, well, obviously God knew. God is with this one. We have to take him there for him to find me.
Precisely, man.
But that is actually
That
really
needed
cool.
to happen, yeah.
That's a nice story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eventually, it all connected.
It all connected to you and serving, and on the worship team he sings, by the way. He does a lot. He's a man of many traits. Is it jack of many traits?
Jack of many traits, master of none. That's how the saying goes.
I don't know.
Are you saying I'm a master of none?
I just know the beginning part. I don't know any other part of it. I just heard that one.
No worries.
But yeah, so today's topic is rejection.
Rejection.
And it's not. It's one of those. It's one of those things where when people hear the word rejection, they just think of relationships, and that's it. But this is like rejection, any aspect of life, whether it be job or friendships or relationships, obviously, or even some people get rejected by family members. So it's just rejection in general. And everyone at some point has felt rejection. Yeah. And it sucks.
No, it's not great.
It's really not. But yeah, so the first question I have is, why do you think rejection feels so personal even when it's not meant to be?
I think because we associate it with us, right? Like, if somebody rejects, even if it's something that you're presenting, you feel like they're rejecting you, and that's painful, man. But yeah, like, rejection is personal because it's a lot of the times, I don't know if it's a mind trick that, you know, maybe our consciousness is playing on us to make us feel like they haven't rejected this thing you're presenting, or they haven't rejected this thing you're proposing. Yeah. They're rejecting you. And I think we're created to be creatures of, you know, communion. We need to be around other people. And the moment that we feel like other people are pushing us away, that is pain to the soul. So
that's so deep.
No. We're barely on the surface here. I'm excited. This rejection topic, man. They're rejected. Not obviously. You say people normally they think of rejection, and the first thing is relationships. But then I feel
romantic relationships.
Romantic relationships. But then there's rejection that hurts even, you know,
more than
romantic relationships. Don't you agree? There's some rejection that could like.
I mean, 100%. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like those friendship breakups. Those ones hurt more than romantic breakups for sure. I'm just like, dudes, how did this happen? But I mean, I feel like they're probably all the same sort of, as like the feelings, because like obviously if I got rejected like friendship wise and then a job wise, a job would be bad because obviously a job is something you get money from. Actually, no, job rejection is the worst.
I was looking at you like, Joe, what are you talking about? Bro, have you ever been broke and you finally make it face to face with whoever is supposed to hire you? You've gone through the process of screened you, and then you're sitting there and they're like, we don't think you have what it takes to do this, and you have to walk away after all that hope of finally getting that money, man, and you don't get that money. I
take it back. Job rejections are the worst. Actually, I think that's even the reason why like I sort of remembered this topic, because I've been rejected from clients like probably twice or 3 times, and it's just like, no, it hurts because I'm like, and then it's one of those things, especially because I kind of have this thing where I'm trying to work on it, but I get my hopes up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's calling me for an interview. That means they want me in the job. Oh my gosh. They give you that sort of expression like, okay, yeah, you're actually fit for the job. Like, they don't tell you, but like, it seems like you, and then you leave there and you're like, yeah, I got this. And then you get that text of like, oh, we didn't see that you're fit. And you're just like, what? And then like, after your hope has been like up there, and now it's just like declining, and then it's like even more disappointing. But those hurt, especially if you need the income to survive.
Gotta get the money.
So it's like I can't really do this. But the reason why I think people take it personal is because I don't know, it's just, I mean, we're all humans and we tend to, I don't know if the word is overthink things or if it's just sensitivity. Being sensitive.
Expound.
I know. But it's just being sensitive, and I'm saying that because I'm a very sensitive person. So when you have that much like emotion or feeling, just the feeling of it's a feeling of like you're not wanted. Yeah. And nobody likes the feeling of not being wanted. So it sucks, and it like gets you very disappointed in the outcome of something that you expected to happen.
Yeah. I think people put like, you find that people that are very self-aware of their identity and who they are and what they're worth wouldn't derive their value from whatever they're proposing or whatever they're trying to get from another person, and therefore the rejection wouldn't affect them as much. So I think even taking rejection very personally is because a lot of us, I included, I derive my value from, I did that and that person thought it was great. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I should be amazing. You get? But I think the moment that you're very self-aware and you know your identity and you know where your value comes from, rejection wouldn't sting as much. It would probably sting still. But it wouldn't sting as much if we knew that we're valuable outside of those things that we're looking at information from.
So we're kind of basing our identity or like who we are as a person,
how others respond to us,
from people's opinions of how we are.
So when they reject you, it hurts. And you talked about something. You talked about something that you build your hope. You built your hope.
You built your hope up.
Yeah, that's
English
the word.
Is not English.
It came on a boat. Okay, it is not from here. Anyway, what am I saying? I'm saying that like you build your hope up so much, and then somebody sort of just disappoints. And even in the Bible, there's the verse that says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick," and I think that's what it is, right? Like it is. You had hope that this would turn into something, and then it didn't. So your heart is now sick, and it hurts.
You guys, I knew I made the right choice of putting Katera on this podcast. I know you guys are learning something. The mind, like, what? But yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, long story short, it hurts. I think even in wrapping, not wrapping this up, obviously, because we're wrapping the question up. It definitely hurts, and it's not something that people want to experience, but it's a part of life.
It is a part of life.
What's actually, this is a question I actually didn't write down, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think the whole rejection is redirection?
I was actually thinking that, and I was thinking of how cheesy that is, you know? It's so cheesy, man. It's overused, and I feel like it's definitely a remedy that doesn't work to have that mindset that rejection is rejection. Because at times, you get rejected, and that's pretty much it. There's no, like, deeper meaning.
But if you look at it from a biblical point of view.
A biblical point of view, rejection is redirection. Sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. And here's why. Sometimes you cannot say... You could be going for something real, like something valuable, something that you would have been good at if you had prepared well enough for it, right? So, in a sense, you being rejected from that thing doesn't necessarily mean that thing is bad, or that thing wasn't for you, because it could have been for you, but maybe you didn't do enough work preparing, right? And I'm not saying in that case you sort of put the blame on yourself for not getting it. All I'm saying is sometimes you have to have that humility to say, oh yeah, that was a great opportunity and I missed it because I didn't prepare well enough. And obviously you're going to be redirected to something else because you didn't get this thing. So in a sense, rejection is redirection works in there. But then I think we normally use it to say, oh yeah, if something doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be. I don't think that's the case per se. Because if you go on with that attitude, you never really, push to get things in life. Don't you think so? Like if you always thought what is meant to be will be, and you sort of like lay back and don't.
Now that you're putting it that way, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Because, I get the whole, like, you become sort of... if you don't work that hard. But that's where I think you're saying that's where it's like both ways, because it's like, what if someone does work really hard to get what they want, but they still get rejected?
So that's what I'm saying. If you put, it only applies when you say it. If you put all you can, your best, like there is nothing more you could have done to get this thing. There's nothing, you couldn't present what you're bringing to the table better than you did, or you couldn't do anything extra to get that. And that's based. That's not objective. That's subjective, right? Like in the sense that what you'll be able to put in to get something is not what I will be able to put in to get something, depending on the circumstances and all the other factors that play. So that looks different. My everything might look smaller than compared to another person's everything. But if it is my best that I've put forward and I've been rejected, I would say rejection is redirection. Because hey, you presented everything and it didn't work out. That means this, in that case, wasn't it. Like you're being redirected to some place where your best would actually bring the value that's required. That makes sense.
But what if, let's say, okay, so for instance, because you're saying you have to put in your all, and let's say you want to, but for some reason, you just don't feel like that feeling is just not there, and you're like, okay, I don't have, not per se the energy, but like I just don't feel this, but you're like, I'm still gonna try, but I'm not gonna like try 100%. Is that, because I think in that sense it would be more of, if you don't like have that passion or desire or whatever to pursue what you want to pursue, I feel like that's sort of God redirecting you somewhere else. As in like, okay.
Yeah, I think you should definitely not force yourself to do things. And sometimes you have circumstances where you have to force yourself to do things so you can get money or get whatever.
Some people don't have choices.
Or not. But in those cases, yes, I think it applies, So my answer to your question, before we be like, my answer to your question, does rejection is redirection? What I feel about that is that sometimes it applies and sometimes it isn't. I feel like you need to have a balance and not take it as, don't make it a habit where everything you're doing is not working, and it could be because of the input that you're putting in there, right?
Yeah.
And then you're using rejection as redirection as an excuse.
Yeah.
It's balance. That's what it is.
Yeah, you need to sort of figure it out and make sure that. I mean, because I even feel like even with those things, you should still put your all. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, it may not work out. It may, because I believe personally, I'm like, even if it's something I'm not really interested in, or something I'm just like, this is just like, let's say a temporary job, as people call it, I'll still put my all in it. Yeah. Because I'm like, why would I put half of the effort into something that I'm technically saying I do not like? Exactly. You got to give 100%. And then, I don't know, for me, I'm just like, I don't like the whole people are like, well, I'm gonna put half of my energy in this because it's just a temporary job. I'm just like, no, put your all in it. I mean, that's the whole reason why it's temporary, because if you're planning on going somewhere else or moving somewhere else, just be like, okay, this is for now, let me put in my energy now,
and then a stepping stone to the next thing, and you want your stepping stone to be solid, so give it your best. Pretty much. It's I don't know, it's just that simple, especially job wise, even friendships as well. Yeah, it works that way as well. You can't put, this is one thing that kind of pisses me off. Tell me. you guys when, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of one-sided friendships. Not fun. Yeah, definitely not fun, especially because I'm a type of person, even in friendships or any type of relationship, I put my all in it. Like, sometimes, again, I probably may fail because life, and you go like a whole month and you haven't talked to the person, you're like, oh my goodness. I haven't. But then that's because life happens. But besides that, I'm the type of person, I'm like, if we're friends, okay, that's if I truly feel like our friendship is valuable. Because sometimes you can look at a friendship and be like, I'm not getting any, like, not per se benefit out of this, but it's like, it's not helping me in life. Yeah. And so what I would normally, what I normally do is I put my all in it. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of bad because you can't really expect things from people. But I'm like, if I'm putting my all in it, you best put your all in it as well. I expect the same as well. I think it's how you define your all, I think. There's also that, yeah. Like, if all you can is your all, like, what you can is your all, then I think that's healthy, in that you're not reaching to, like, sort of pour out from something you don't have. Your cup is empty. Like, depending on what you have, right? Yeah. Like, if I can give my time, I will. If I can, like, if I'm giving you everything I can, then that's my because my all could be, I am now looking to give you something I don't possess myself, and now that becomes frustrating, right? Like, it becomes. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, because I mean, like you said, everyone's all is different, but it's just one of those things where, at least with me, I don't know about anyone else, but at least with me, I can tell when someone's not putting any effort. And it's like, I'm like, I'm not saying you have to put the same amount as I am, because my all, again, like you said, everyone's all is different. Yeah, exactly. But I at least expect you to put some. Just even if you're always just a little bit. Put some effort in there, okay? We're friends for reasons. Anyway. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just, for me, I'm like, yes, I just don't like it when people don't do that. And for me, I'm like, if I can sense that happening, which I think I've come to realize, I don't know if it's God gift given or whatever, but I can sense when people are not putting as much efforts as I am. I'm like, wait, why am I wasting time on this person? And do you feel like that's a form of rejection? Like, it's not explicitly said. Somebody won't say, I don't want you as a friend, but then, like, you can tell from sort of how they are prioritizing the friendship that this person is sort of not giving their all. Do you think not giving their all is a form of them rejecting you? Do you think that would be the case? I've never thought of it. That actually could be the case. It actually really could. Yeah, because they're basically saying that, hey, I'm going to be indirect because I cannot, because some people don't like the whole confrontation of like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, like, we're not friends anymore. And so they'll just slowly sort of back away.
which is, again, that's what I'm saying, like, that's a form of rejection, but in friendship. The next question is, I think we kind of already answered this, but how do most people tend to react to rejection?
Take it personally.
You can't answer the next question in the previous question. You have to come up with a different one. How do you think they tend to act? Like, are some people, like, glad about it? Or some people, like, this is...
How...
The reaction.
If you got rejection. I can't answer. That's the thing. Yeah, I was about to say I can't answer for other people, so I'm gonna.
But technically, what do you really think? Obviously, you answer for you personally, but you also, like, in general, how do you think people?
Yeah. Again, sorry to reuse the previous question, but I'd say people take it personally, and I think it also depends on how different people react to sort of hurt. Some people will, crawl down in a hole. Some people will shout and scream and get angry, and I guess it's just a person's temperament. Yeah. Normally for me it would be, man, I'll take that thing personal. And sort of think on it, and I'm happy that I've been able to sort of there's a window of where you can lament and hurt and then eventually you come out and you think logically about it, and you're like, okay, so this is why that might have happened, and you sort of plan the next steps forward. So there's a bit where you hurt, and that's how it's a human reaction to rejection. You hurt, you learn what you can from it, and you move on.
And then you see what you can do afterwards to make sure that you don't.
Yeah, I think we differ in the periods of hurt. Definitely, you don't want to be there for too long, right? You don't want to, internalize that and make it, affect how you see yourself. Yeah. Right? But it's definitely natural to be hurt and be sad and cry for
Crying is healthy, you guys.
For a bit, yeah? The many times I wish I could just go home and cry after, a rejection or whatever thing that's hurting me, and you can't. I admire the people that can cry, because it's such a good release.
It really is.
But yeah, there's a period of hurt, and then I think after that, think of it logically and try to figure out what you can learn from it. And move forward.
That makes sense. Do you think that people, once they get rejected, do you think that they're like, okay, I'm done, I'm just gonna give up, or do you think it's more of a motivation to keep trying? What do you think about that? As in, because I know for a fact sometimes with some people rejection can be like, okay, I'm done, I give up, this is too much, and it's mostly. I was gonna answer the question. I was gonna ask you, why do you think that, and then I was gonna answer it. I'm just like, let me just ask you first.
You can answer, and then maybe if I have a different answer, I will sort of add to that.
But so even with that, because I'm like, some people are like, okay, I'm done. I don't, especially someone who's been rejected over let's say the same thing over and over again. And you know what? I've tried my best. I've put myself out there. It's never gonna happen. It's just never gonna happen. So with that, I even think the reason why people do it is because of the fear of being rejected again.
Yeah, that's not fun to be rejected. I absolutely get it if you don't want to experience it ever again. But then to do anything is to risk being rejected. So are you just not gonna do anything?
No, actually, you could be like, oh, I'm not gonna go in this field or do this, and then you go to another aspect of life, and then you get rejected there. At some point, if you say that with every single aspect, you're literally just gonna sit at home and do nothing. Yeah. And if you're blessed enough to not have to pay rent, then
you can get comfortable. Nope, not experiencing that again. I'm gonna just stay here with mom and dad,
and we're kids. Just stay comfortable. But I think with that, it's either someone gives up, or even some people, I feel like it motivates them.
Yeah.
To try again. I'm not gonna lie, for me personally, there's been times where I've wanted to give up a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be completely honest. But there's been times where I've been rejected, and I'm just like, okay, for instance, okay, let me just explain this, because I'm like, I think I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but I need to say the parts that make sense. But there are times where I was looking for like clients for my digital marketing company. And I've gotten rejected with that so many times. I even posted like one YouTube video of like, oh, I got you rejected or whatever. It was really interesting. And interview fail is what it was called. So it was a failed interview. Anyways, so there's times where I'm just like, I've thought it, like when I've got rejected like 2 or 3 times, I've just sat down. I'm just like, is this field really for me? Because I'm like, why am I getting rejected though? And it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm confident that I know what I'm doing, and I'm confident in what I do, that when I go and, let's say, propose ideas and strategies to the clients, I'm positive that this is gonna work. Which sometimes it's very risky, because you be like, I'm positive, and then you do it, so you're like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work.
Rejected again. But then that's the thing, right? Like I think you felt that way. That like when you got rejected, obviously it hurt, and you felt like giving up, and I think it's that period of like hurt. But I feel like you've come out of that, and now, because you're still doing it. You're still doing it. So I'm like, but then going back to your question, that was people either giving up or using it as fuel to do the next thing. I think it depends on somebody's mindset, and that is influenced a lot by the people around you and how like you were brought up. It's also influenced by just biologically what your temperament is and the kind of person that you are, because some people are just born stubborn, and you're like, you rejected me, I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you that you are wrong to think that, right? Like but I think everybody should be willing to feel the pain and continue. Right, it's in the feeling the pain that I think that pain is fuel, man. Like you can really use it as fuel, and sort of it should make you mad the next time you're doing it. Like, you got to do this right, because you don't want to experience the pain again. All right, you don't want to be in the same position as you were before. And yeah, man. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Doing anything, proposing anything. Rejection is involved.
Any aspect of life.
You risk rejection, and you should be able to recover from it. If you're going to do anything with your life, people are going to reject you left, right, and center, man. Everybody should learn to sort of move on from it and use it as fuel. I think that's the healthy mindset when it comes to rejection. So
you're basically saying that people should use that to like motivate them to actually continue.
Yeah, if you hate rejection that much, then just do better next time.
It's that simple. You guys should just do better.
That's how you.
I'm gonna make that a quote. Just do better, Katera.
And it does help. Yeah, man. It does help.
It really does. But why do some people fear rejection more than others? Like, why do you think some people like it hurts them, or they fear it more than some other people do? I mean, you kind of answer that with the sense of it depends on your upbringing and the people that surround you.
I think people fear it more than other people because they don't have those people in their lives to sort of tell them, hey, this is not who you are. Like, if anybody judges you right now, they'll be judging you prematurely. There's, Les Brown says that a lot. Like, if you judge me right now, you'll be judging me prematurely because I'm not as good as I will be. There's
always room to improve.
So you have people that are saying those life-affirming things to you right after rejection. You want somebody to be there for you and to assure you that, hey, you're in the right track, you're doing what you're passionate about, you're doing what you need to do. Rejection is just part of it. You're going to recover from this. And that way, if you have that support, if you have that safety net to fall on, the people to sort of speak life to you, then rejection doesn't become that scary anymore, because just realize it's part of me getting what I want in the long run. I'm going to be rejected a couple of times, but eventually I'm going to get it.
At some point in life. Yeah. But I feel like even with the whole rejection thing, which again, obviously going spiritual and biblical, from my point of view of being a follower of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the word Christian, but a follower of Christ.
Why don't you like the conversation for
It's a
another
whole
day?
conversation.
Don't like the word Christian. Damn.
It's for reasons. Anyways.
Yeah.
I like, if I were to say like the rejection or the amount of rejection I've experienced the past year, if I had experienced that 3 years ago, when I wasn't as close with God as I am now, one, I probably would have been down a whole hill, because I would have
a whole different person.
A whole different person, and a whole different person that's not good.
Yeah.
But I think for me personally, like what has sort of helped with, it's like, okay, yeah, you have to have people that surround you and whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes like you cannot depend on other people. Sadly. So it's like, hey, even if I have no one, I know for a fact God's got you and he's always there. So just reminding yourself of, like, I think I said this on one of the episodes, but Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you. And rejection may be a part of those plans. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, where he's like, I know where I want you to be. And he knows the future. So it's like you kind of have to go through all of this first to get where I want you to be. And that includes, again, facing all of these rejections. So that helps me a lot.
Yeah, definitely, man. The relationship with God will get you through a lot. But the interesting thing about God, right, he will always bring people, because that's his body, right? Like his body is like people. And if you look at what the body of God or Christ is, the church, and the church is people. And the church can be, God will randomly bring up this person to talk to you and tell you, hey, you'll be fine, you'll be all right. Or somebody should just be there when you're crying. And I think that's God saying, it's okay, you're gonna make it through. You're gonna make it through this.
Yeah, I'm not saying like he will bring you people, but it's one of those things you cannot depend on people.
Yeah, definitely don't depend on the people he brings. Depend on him.
But he will bring you people.
He will. Yeah, that's most of the time. That's how he operates. He uses people. It's gonna be a video you see. It's gonna be, but that video is created by someone. It's gonna be something that you experience. But that experience is somebody behind it. God just uses.
He has different ways of sort of showing you that I'm with you and I got you and you're not alone. But yeah, no, that helps like a lot to have people out there, and obviously the people that don't have people, and the people that one don't have people, also don't have a relationship with God. You can feel so alone. Yeah, you can feel like the world is against you and you're just stuck, and that's again not a feeling that people want, which makes sense, because again you take rejection as like, this person is against me, or this person doesn't like me, and so you're just like, well, that's how everyone feels, and you base it off like every other person I go to or every other place that I go apply to a job, I'm gonna get rejected because people just don't like me. And I'm saying that in the sense of, I think, again, throughout even my life, I've experienced rejection in any shape or form. But it's just it kind of creates anxiety or social anxiety. Yeah. Which I'm just not realizing that's probably why I have social anxiety, but it's fine. When you realize your past traumas. But anyways, it's fine. That's the reason why people get social anxiety from those rejections that they've had in the past, because now they have the fear of not only being judged but being rejected and people not liking them. You guys, I just now realized, I'm not even kidding. You experienced firsthand of me realizing this. But it's just, I don't know, it's just the whole feeling alone. So when you don't have people around you, which again, it's important to have people around you, and I hope that everyone who's in a season of rejection has at least one person. Like somebody out there. You need someone. And if you feel like you don't have anyone, you always have God. So just pray and talk to God, and he will comfort you and give you peace. But yeah. Wow, I feel like I just had a whole Wow. Anyways, enough about that.
Anyways. Next question. No, but it is. Oh man, pray if you don't have people, you have God, man, and like your knowledge of God, the character that He's there, even though there might be if you're an island. Sorry, does anybody speak Swahili in here? But like there isn't somebody to hold you through it. I hope like your knowledge of God will be sufficient, and He will use the many things that He can use, to sort of bring you out of that dark hole.
Yeah.
Dark hole. That
makes sense. Mm-hmm. What role does self-worth play in how we process rejection?
Wow. Deep questions. This person is giving me like deep questions.
We get deep on this podcast. That's what we do. It's not surface level questions. No. Yeah. But yeah, so what role does self-worth play in how we process?
A big role, man. I think it's sad. I think since you're a child, you're taught to sort of derive your self-worth. Your self-worth. English came on a boat, guys. Don't forget, if you're getting anything from this podcast today, is that English, it came on a boat.
It's another way to say that you're African.
Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying, like, we're taught to derive our self-worth from how people view us and what people give us in terms of compliments and how they feel about the things that we do, and you tend to internalize that and think, oh, I must be good because so and so thinks I was good at chess, or so and so thinks I was good at singing. But it's very important for you to derive your and I get that there's some people listening to this and they're not Christians, the word you hate. But man, it's so important to derive your sense of worth, like your self-worth, from something higher than you, from the person that created you, because only they can be accurate in terms of
they know you best. Yeah. They know you better than yourself.
Yeah, like they're the only one who knows, who knows English, man. Basically, the person that created you is the only one that knows what you're truly about. Like and they still thought you were worth creating, so you should be quite valuable. You know what I mean?
Imagine
if we all had that mentality of the very fact that I exist, I'm worth existing, I think
that's enough. Like what more do I
want? Beautifully and wonderfully made for a purpose, and
no, it's just one of those things, like just thinking about it. I think even the times where so sort of like answer that question, it can make you feel like you're not good enough, and feel like you're not worth it and whatnot. So like even in times like that, when I feel like that, because again I felt it so many times, because I'm human. But anyways, whenever I think that way, I always think that Joanne, literally, God made you. Like there's a reason why he literally thought like, oh my goodness, the world needed her. guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I truly, truly appreciate it. This was a really nice topic to talk about, and I feel like I said, a lot of people are struggling with it, me included. I mean, not like getting rejection now, but like just the whole fear of rejection and that whole thing. So it's good to sort of talk about it and just give people advice. And again, you guys, we're not perfect. We are not experts in these things. We're still learning ourselves, but we're going to show you or let you know what we know so far with our experience with it and what in our faith and our belief. But yeah, so thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Had a great conversation.
I'm glad you had a great conversation.
No, I enjoyed every bit of it.
That's good. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're listening, thanks so much for listening. And we'll see you guys. Well, I will see you, not me. I will see you. I should just have him co-host. You should just co-host these episodes.
I would love to ask questions, man. So when did it start?
A whole therapy session, but put it online. No, but I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.